This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
It is the After Party live on a Travel Tuesday, and thank you for being here, and thank you for your patience and waiting for the show to begin. Some interesting things afoot with the Mark Thompson show had to be discussed, and that includes a little mini vacation for Mark, and my mom is turning 80 at the same time, and my sister and I had planned to take her to a spa overnight, which means there's one day where neither Mark nor I will be here, and it'll be interesting to see. We're talking about, should we do a best of show that day? Michael Shore is available, but there won't be anyone. Well, there won't be. Albert will be with him, but anyway, so a lot to talk about as far as what the best plan is moving forward with that show, and that's on the 23rd. So still kind of talking about what to do with that. I do want to address something that has kind of been going on in the chat. I got an email yesterday from teacher Lori wondering why I haven't shown personal pictures from a viewer. And I will say this, I love to show personal pictures, but I usually want there to be a reason for it. So when teacher Lori had a health crisis with her cat, and we kind of came together as a community to try to help fund that for her, there was a reason to show pictures, and there was an effort to help. And that is good. If it's a birthday or a celebration, or when we gather together, have pictures of the previous gathering. I mean, this type of thing, right? A personal picture of us. And that's a beautiful thing about getting together in this particular platform that we couldn't do at KGO Radio in San Francisco, is that we're able to form relationships in the chat. Before, there was a chat, but only I could see it and people couldn't interact. Now people can interact and form relationships and get together and go wine tasting. I've had Cameo come to meet me out, and Ren come to meet me out at a field trip near their house. So these are cool pictures that I love to show. But when it comes to pictures that I consider to be kind of like things you would put on a personal Facebook page, then I probably won't show that. So that's why. But I did have a great idea come through yesterday, and that is to have maybe a segment, I don't know, once a week, once every 2 weeks, what have you, where you can send your personal pictures and we can do a little segment of, things that you want to share, or I don't know, sounds like so kindergarten-y to call it sharing corner or whatever, but some type of moment where we can take a minute and share those personal pictures. But overall, the vision I have for this show isn't necessarily, even though I love that we can interact and get to know each other, it's not like a video form of Facebook, if you know what I mean. So I'd kind of like to do stories, interesting stories, have interesting conversations with each other, but not like, let's show a picture of my grandchild today, that type of thing. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong, and it is a democracy on the show, so if you think I'm wrong, please let me know. But that's my theory on that. So that's why, if anyone's wondering why I haven't shown certain pictures, that would be the reason, and I'll move forward based on that. And then perhaps I was thinking, on today's Tuesday, so Friday's usually pretty busy with Tim Sika. Maybe on Thursday we can show some pictures, or have a little segment where we can show pictures. So if you do want to do that, send me a picture. If you want to share something with the group, you can send it to me at kim@theafterparty.live. It's the best way to get me, kim@theafterparty.live. Probably Facebook messaging. If I have too many pictures in too many different places, I might miss something. So kim@theafterparty.live is the best place to send a picture. All right. Let's move forward. And again, thank you for your patience and everything else. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's go take a look at some animals, including remember the eaglets? There they are. Now they're big eaglets. Thank you to Yvonne for sending me this story. And we are on now Fledge Watch, which is kind of cool. This is Sunny and Gizmo. Remember when we were watching for them to hatch? Doesn't everyone feel old now? Look at how old they are. They're getting ready to fly. And so As they leave the nest, the friends of Big Bear Valley have the cameras back on. The fledge watch for these eaglets is underway. Um, and when they fly, they flatten their wings and have these feathers that are capable of flight. And usually that happens when they're between 10 to 14 weeks old. Males tend to fly a little sooner than females do developmentally. And apparently, over the last several weeks, according to the Friends of Big Bear Valley, Sunny and Gizmo have made some pretty big progress. They now can feed themselves. They spent their first night alone in the nest, and they've been flapping their wings vigorously, trying to exercise them, build up some strength in those wings so that they can fly. And Sunny has even started hopping up to the very edge of the nest in what looks to be preparation for flight. So, like the Pip Watch, where we waited for the eggs to crack and the eaglets to emerge, this is Fledge Watch this week. The Fledge Watch window is a little more wide, you could say. It could take from anywhere from now up to mid-June for these birds to actually fly and leave the nest. One of the previous eaglets took 16 weeks to fly. So this could be a while. But again, you can see the flapping and the, trying to get this done. Do have some video I can show you of the flapping. So interesting to see how big they're getting. I know. It's like all of our little babies, right? Can you see that? I think you can see that. I'll try to make it a little bigger. Here it is. So look at the flapping, the hopping to the edge of the nest, the exercising of the wings. They sure are getting big. So we're on Fledge Watch, and we'll see how long it takes Sunny and Gizmo to fly. But that's pretty exciting, I think. There's this viral cat that turned 15, and they threw this cat in Texas a cat quinceañera. This woman in Houston celebrated her cat's 15th birthday with this quinceañera party, and it went viral when they posted pictures of it online. And they ended up saving a local animal rescue group with all the donations that came in because of it. This woman, her name is Miranda. She said she'd been dreaming of throwing a quince for her cat, Holly, ever since she got this cat 15 years ago. She said it was a dream of mine since she was little. I wanted to celebrate our life together and show everyone my love for her. So when Holly turned 14, Miranda started planning this big cat quinceañera. She said it took her months and months to plan it. I said I had friends and family as padrinos. Those are people who donate and help with the event. And it was all very meticulously planned, a big deal. The party had this grand entrance for Holly, and what you see here on the screen, a remote controlled Bentley. There was a father daughter dance, a cake, a full mariachi band. They said this is the first time they ever played a quince for a cat, but they did it. And she says it's all about love, showing her love for her animal. The event also served as a fundraiser for this rescue group called Almost Home Cat Haven. Almost Home Cat Haven. And that group had been struggling. And when the videos of the cat quince were posted online, donations started pouring in to Almost Home Cat Haven. And it took the rescue from on the verge of almost closing down to financial stability. They say this, it was a total blessing. They said every time we think we don't know if we can keep doing this, some blessing just drops in. And that this time it was Miranda and her cat quince, and they say they call it a blessed day. So that's good. You know what? I say for me, perhaps a little much, probably more than I would even spend on a child's birthday. However, if you want to throw an elaborate cat quince and save a cat rescue in the process, have at it. And that's what Holly was celebrated. I love the cat Bentley. Very funny. Shall we go to the mosaic? I think we actually talked about this mosaic when it was first discovered, and somebody tried to steal it. Somebody live streamed themselves trying to steal it. This is a 2,000-year-old Roman mosaic. And the thieves allegedly tried to live stream their illegal excavation of these Roman ruins that are located near a Turkish castle. If you They say, even if you happen to uncover a 2,000-year-old mosaic dedicated to ancient Greco-Roman concept of luxury and decadence, don't live stream it while you're stealing it. Law enforcement recently arrested 4 people, including a father and son, for trying to take this mosaic. They say, along with live streaming the unsanctioned dig, the team reportedly also later shared videos of their endeavor on social media. Police rounded them all up, took them into custody at the Zyle Castle, which is near the Black Sea. It's best known the site for the Battle of Zela. I've never heard of it. So if it's best known for that, I don't know. That happened in 47 BCE when Julius Caesar famously declared Veni Vidi Vici, I came, I saw, I conquered, after defeating the forces of Pharnaces II, the ruler of the kingdom of Pontus. So, in addition to hosting one of the famous lines in the battles of ancient history, this area, Zyle, also served as an important commercial and kind of a trading hub for the Roman Empire. There was a theater there, which is currently undergoing legal excavation. And that, I think that's what we had talked about. And that was 220 yards away from this project, where the alleged trespassers tried to uncover and looks like remove this 95 square foot floor mosaic. The news agency called Turkey Today said that the authorities found the group attempted to hide their work underneath sacks. The circular mosaic's top portion is no longer there. The bottom half features a bust of Tryphe in Greek, sometimes more defined as a blend of concepts like luxury and elegance. Trife or Tryphe also functioned as a state-sponsored ideology of overindulgence, extravagance, and flaunting one's wealth. Trypheo means to live in excess or luxury, and uh, this was, I guess, a hallmark of this area. So, I don't, yeah. The mosaic, they think, has to be related to ruins in the lower city of Zyle, which was an important center at these ancient times. They had the theater, they had the castle, they had a tunnel, they had a rock tomb, they even had a festival. The festival's legacy is still going on as the annual Zyle Fair today. Has been going on for centuries that they've held this. So now the work needs to be done to assess this mosaic, assess the damage, and figure out the history here and see what they can save and what they can't save. The black market, a big thing in this area, and there have been authorities that have tried to rein in the sales of these antiquities on the black market. There was a group arrested earlier this year trying to smuggle a medieval mummy in their home. Remember that? We saw it in the garage. And there was an arrest of 162 smugglers across 38 provinces in 2022. They found a truck that had more than 1,700 stolen artifacts destined for a British auction house. So people make money going to do this type of thing and dig up history and sell it to the highest bidder. And I'm glad they got caught. Live streaming it doesn't help. I mean, stupid criminals, right? Why are people not drinking as much anymore? There's a reason for this. This story says Gen Z specifically seems to be drinking less because they're broke. This story, a Dutch study, funded by, well, published by Rabobank. I love that. Rabobank. It always, like, really? That's what you want to name your bank? But they did an analysis exploring Gen Z's alcohol consumption because drinking booze in the United States, the numbers have risen, but not among younger adults. So Gen Z is anyone born between 1997 and 2012. This Dutch banking company, Rabobank, says it's because Gen Z is broke. And they published this analysis where they explored whether Gen Z's lower consumption of booze is due to a life stage or a generational shift in thoughts about drinking. And they say no, that's not it at all. A 2023 Gallup poll determined that the share of adults under age 35 who say that they drink dropped 10 percentage points in 2 decades. It was 72% in 2001 to 2003 and 62% in 2021 to 2023. So is it because they're more health conscious? What, right? The dry January is a big thing too. Rabobank's report suggests, while all the factors are possible, being more health conscious, trying to do a dry January, all of these things, they say that those reasons are also true but overblown. And according to their analysts, half of Gen Z is under the legal drinking age, while those 21 and older may actually be struggling to make ends meet. These Gen Zers have yet to get a college degree. They're working entry-level jobs or not working at all, and they just do not have the money to spend on alcohol. They say this was also true of millennials, Gen X, and baby boomers when they were in their 20s as well. I could say we, right? Because that probably encompasses one of us. Uh, as Gen Z gets older, their alcohol purchases are likely to grow. The industry, they say, the alcohol industry, will need to adjust its products and advertising to connect with the diversity of this generation and with their changing drinking patterns as they age and get more money. They say as Gen Zers reach their more mature, responsible prime spending years, they'll be spending more to drink. But right now, nope, just too broke to booze it up. Can we look at this story about magical mushrooms? You would think it's a story about psychedelics, but it's actually about using mushrooms to do something very interesting to clean up polluted landscapes. Mushrooms have some superpowers. There are some researchers and some activists trying to restore damaged environments, and they're using fungi to help them. If you use the mushrooms to eat the pollution, the question was, will they take over and then eat your house and buildings and everything? But the scientists here say no, that using this fungus is a nature-based approach to handling our waste. It's called mycormediation, this technique that uses fungi to rehabilitate polluted land. The mycormediation harnesses the mushroom's natural abilities to collect contaminants scattered in soil and then either concentrate them so they can be removed or else break them down into materials that then are not harmful. There are more than 2.2 to 3.8 million species in the fungal kingdom that goes from single-celled yeasts to the largest organism in the world, which is a honey mushroom genus that occupies more than 2,000 acres of soil in eastern Oregon. There was a time when fungi was considered more similar to plants than animals because fungi can't create its own food through photosynthesis. Most obtain nutrients from dead or decaying organic matter. And they secrete these enzymes that break down insoluble carbohydrates drawn into simpler sugars that then their cells can absorb and store. It is that ability to decompose and then metabolize nutrients that makes them contributors to ecosystems around the world, transforming materials that plants and animals wouldn't otherwise be able to use for their benefit. And that includes toxins like petrochemicals and pesticides, which then they break down into simpler molecules that other organisms can repurpose. They absorb and concentrate heavy metals like lead and cadmium that remain intact and then can be safely relocated when the fungi are harvested. The workers have an easier time picking mushrooms that accumulate lead and disposing of them at a landfill than excavating and relocating the tons of soil that are contaminated with lead. So, this is research that is underway where these mushrooms, fungi, are being used in this way to clean soil, to eat through all of these toxic chemicals that we leave behind. Interesting. Could be a great way to clear out these brownfields that are all over the place faster. The study is using something called model white rot fungus. It's fast breeding. Um, it's apparently easily alterable, and it's got this crust and ease and speed with which it can be grown and handled in a lab and break down. And so it makes for an ideal investigative focus. So that's what's going on. And this research has been underway for a while. Even since the mid 80s, scientists had evidence that crust fungus could degrade pollutants like insecticide and DDT and all kinds of other toxins. So this is just the latest and what people are looking at to help clean up the world. To forward this story to my friend Belinda. Maybe she'll be interested. NASA is being recognized for its coverage on the eclipse. You wondered where the best place to catch your eclipse coverage is. A lot of us tuned in to the NASA live stream, and they now have 2 Emmy nominations for their total solar eclipse coverage in 2024. 40 million views came into the online channel that NASA was running. They said in their statement their 3-hour broadcast was distributed across 568 media channels and seen by viewers in 25 different countries. The eclipse traveled 3,000 miles across 7 states, 2 countries, brought routine daily activities to a standstill as people stopped what they were doing and gathered in public places with some protective eyewear and looked to see this historic event as the moon covered the sun April 8th of 2024. And the live feeds from astronauts aboard the International Space Station, as well as real-time data from a high-altitude aircraft deployed for the eclipse, made it worth watching. From witnessing, they say, the sun's atmosphere to feeling the dramatic drop in temperature, the video captures the psychological, emotional, and cultural impact of this celestial phenomenon. So, nominated for Emmys, the Academy of Arts and Sciences says NASA is competing with traditional media outlets now like ABC, NBC, CBS, National Geographic, BBC World Service, PBS, and more, which are usually the folks nominated. And now NASA is included in this group. The Emmy people say NASA's eclipse coverage team perfectly encapsulated the awe-inspiring experience from start to finish for viewers around the world for a once-in-a-lifetime moment in history. Pretty good. They were nominated in a pair of news categories: Outstanding Live News Special and Outstanding Show Open or Title Sequence. And the winners will be announced next month. Way to go, NASA. We watched it. We dipped into it here on this show. We loved it. It's time for Lotto of the Day. And this one is all about good karma, which appeared to help this man from New Jersey who happened to be cashing in his $1 million lottery winnings back on April 30th. This guy spots a $100 bill on the counter at the Phillipsburg Paul Mart in Warren County. So he sees a wayward $100 bill And he takes it and he turns it into the store. Pardon me, the store's lost and found. And then right after that happened, he purchased 3 Power 20X tickets with one of those scratch-offs having the $1,000,000 prize. Happened, he said while visiting the New Jersey lottery offices to claim his prize, he said it was a test from God. Do you keep the $100 or do you give it back? He gave it back and then boom, karma wheeled around and gave him $1,000,000 in prize money as a response. There you go. There is a coin hoard that was found, a Roman coin hoard that was discovered by someone with a metal detector. Look at all those coins. Someone back in the ancient days was loaded. This Romanian metal detectorist found a vast hoard of ancient Roman silver coins near Bucharest, about 25 miles southwest of Bucharest, near the village of Letcavece. This man, his name is Marius, regularly goes out with his metal detector. He says it relaxes him and he gets a little exercise when he's out there moving around. And he says he stumbled on this treasure by accident. On a beautiful Saturday, Marius says, I took my detector and I went out alone, as I often do, and I did not expect this day to surprise me. But surprise it did. He discovered 1,469 Roman silver denarii. These coins are estimated to be about 2,000 year old, dating from Emperor Nero's time in CE 54 to that of Marcus Aurelius in CE 161. They feature the images of 11 different emperors and empresses. Here's a close up. I mean, wow, that's pretty crazy. And again, that's a lot of coins. Look at what they look like up close. Can you imagine finding that? The evidence at the site suggests that these coins were probably buried in some kind of ceramic vessel, which had at one point in history been broken, and the vessel may have been smashed in an intentional act before it was buried, which is not uncommon in history, apparently. The ceramics were found smashed alongside the coins, and evidence of their intentional internment. So, after 2 days of taking pictures of the coins, he followed Marius followed Romanian legal protocol and reported the find to the town hall of Letcanua. Police then documented the site, which will be secured for further archaeological study. The hoard of coins has to be inventoried and then will be transferred to the County Directorate for Culture, then evaluated, ultimately housed at a museum for public display. They say it represents one of the largest Roman coin hoards ever discovered in Romania. Under Romanian law, if you're wondering whether he gets to keep any of the money from this, under Romanian law, metal detectorists who report valuable finds are entitled to a reward of up to 45% of the hoard's estimated value. So I think Marius is going to get a pretty penny for his finding of all of this. Pretty good. God, that's cool. Make me want to buy a metal detector and walk around with it. The Google logo is getting an upgrade. Not much of an upgrade, you can see. It's kind of a graduated kind of, what do you call it? An ombre upgrade, you could say. Google said to be quietly updating its logo. It's a soft focus version of the G icon that they've had since 2015. They rolled out this design on the Google app on iOS and Android. Again, it takes the color block away and it makes it more of a blended ombre as the red goes into the yellow, goes into the green, goes into the blue. The earlier solid blocks of red, yellow, green, and blue now make way for this updated version that connects Google's 4 branded colors with a smooth gradient. Ombre, right? Yeah. It's the first time that the icon has been updated since it replaced Google's all blue lowercase g a decade ago. They have so far been quiet on why they redesigned it and what the thinking was there. Um, they say the design has sparked comparisons with a gradient logo of Google's artificial intelligence assistant Gemini, which also has kind of an ombre. It goes from blues into purples into more kind of hot pinks. So, yeah, they say that the gradient of the Gemini logo mirrors an ever evolving nature of AI, embodying its continuous growth and adaptability. So maybe they want it to match. I don't know. Amazon also had a recent logo redo, which made it more of a empathetic smile, I guess. Yeah. So there's our new Google logo, if anybody was interested in that. I do have a little bit of travel. Let's take a virtual trip today. And how about we go to Morocco? What do you think? I like it. I do have some Moroccan places to share with you today, some of the best places in Morocco. And I have some pictures to share with you as well. Here we go. As we start our tour, we will begin in Marrakesh, I believe. This is a market in Marrakesh. Look how much interesting things are there. How many interesting things. I want to grab that blue stuff at the in the basket in the very middle and find out what that feels like. I'd be the worst person. They'd be telling me, don't touch everything. Keep your hands out of the food. One of the best places to visit in Morocco is Marrakesh, one of the must-sees. They say all your senses come to life in this city. There are heavy scents of citrus trees that fill the air. There are horse carriages that are riding or driving around or riding around everywhere. There's performers, there's street food vendors, lantern lit alleys. Um, there's flamboyant historic palaces and an art scene and markets like this. So they say it's very romantic, and there's one of the best spas in Marrakesh as well. And watching the sunset over the Atlas Mountains as you have a candlelit dinner, supposed to be absolutely amazing. Then you can travel on one of the trading routes, former trading routes from Marrakesh to the Sahara, and you'll reach Oz Ouarzazate. It's home to this 11th century mud brisk fortified village that is one of the most striking, well preserved ancient sites still inhabited, now protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it was made famous in the Game of Thrones. It's in this area called Owallywood. It's Morocco's version of Hollywood, so you can check that out as well. And then, as you continue on, how about we go here to this beautiful beach? This is called Tags Bay. They say it's the best for chill beach vibes. This stretch of the Atlantic Ocean from Asoria to Sidi Ifni has the largest concentration of surfing beaches in Morocco, and this quaint village of Tagazout, which is a fishing community. It has these painted steps and really colorful houses and a mix of cafes and grills and surf shops. They say yoga is done here in the mornings, and on the rooftop, they have rooftop yoga classes. It's a year-round summer vacation vibe at Tagazout Bay. And there are five-star resorts here. There are some more bohemian homestays. They say it's really fun place to have a beach type of holiday. Shall we then travel on to the Sahara Desert? Look at that. From the beautiful beach to the exact opposite. And here we go. It's beautiful though. Look at that. Wow. Incredible. Here we are, you guys. Everybody grab a camel. We're going in. The drive to the Sahara is a long one, but when you get to the edge of the world's largest hot desert, the sand begins. It's an endless ocean of dunes instead of the ocean we just saw. The emptiness of the Sahara, a rare experience. Visiting the Moroccan Sahara is like making a choice to just disconnect from everything and be in the true middle of nowhere. It's a stark, barren landscape, and you best go with a guide, especially at night when the sky is free of light pollution and the stars shine. It is amazing. There are some sand dunes and remote places to stay as well in this area. So, yeah, can you imagine? Picture yourself in the Sahara Desert on a tour like this. So pretty. Let's go to really cool place. Well, Essaouira is a beach stop, a beach vacation. They say if you have to choose but one destination across Morocco, uh, Essaouira is a pretty good pick. They have some more markets in Essaouira as well. It looks kind of like a cool artsy place to show you. I can just imagine shopping in one of these really cool places like this. Let me show you this picture. Pretty nice. Oops, I'm sorry. I messed that up. Here it is. 3 days in Essaouira. Look at this. Look at the bright colors and all the things for sale. Beautiful. Here's some more pictures of art for sale and places to stay. Oh, interesting. It's called Essaouira. Look at all of this. This is fascinating. And again, called one of the things you must do if you have to choose. It's a working fishing port, and they've got a noisy fish market, and there's fresh off the boat seafood. There's for pedestrians, something called a Medina, which is where vendors sell ceramics and will let you sleep in these traditional sleeping things called riads. And it's all upgraded to suit an artsy crowd. There are galleries and restaurants and cocktail bars and stores. Also, it's really, really windy along this stretch of water. So a lot of people come here to kite surf. If it's too windy for the beach, then you they apparently there's retreats in the area that sell pool day passes to non-guests of these retreat areas. So kind of fun. Okay, so that is I say it right. Essaouira? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. It's kind of a cool place. Again, look at the colors. I mean, incredible, right? Yeah. And the food. Wow. Yeah. I don't know about you. Morocco's looking pretty good. Okay, we'll go back to the other screen here where I have some fun times with this is kind of more traditionally what I picture in my head when I think of places to see in Morocco. This is where what I visualize, this kind of architecture and tiles and markets, outdoor markets and things like this. It's a beautiful area. So this is in, if I can pronounce the name right. I don't know. I'm having trouble with this particular language. I don't know how well I do in Morocco. They say it's always nice to at least try to pronounce things right in a certain way. I don't know how well I do with this one. But this is one of the best places to visit in Morocco as well. So once we leave our beach fishing village in Essaouira, we'll be headed here to this market. And this is in a place that is called Fez. It's the oldest city in Morocco. They have medieval Medina, which is the marketplace that you're seeing here. And it's a maze of workshops and apothecaries and stalls selling all kinds of things in this area. There's a mosque, the Karaween Mosque and University, which houses the world's oldest library. They call it a renowned spiritual and study center. Fez, especially if you're a history buff, that's one of the places you have to go. And then off we go on a ferry between Spain and Tangier. We have to go to Tangier, one of the areas on the coastline that brings to light Morocco's proximity to Europe. It's called the White City because of all of its whitewashed buildings and an art scene. They have tapas restaurants and a cafe, all these cafes, really amazing ocean views. The Spanish language is widely spoken there. It's kind of a Euro-Afro vibe, they call it. There's plazas, big grand plazas, and beaches. They say it becomes a very smooth entry point for anyone trying to ease their way into Morocco. And here is what it looks like. You can see the whitewashed buildings in this area. Looks like a busy little place, doesn't it? Yeah. So again, this is Tangier, and they say it's a good thing to check out the lighthouse, the Spartel's lighthouse, and the coastline. And a lot of people use Tangier as a base to visit other cities in this area. You could be in the capital city of Rabat in an hour and a half if you stay in Tangier. They're pretty. So there we go, in Morocco. I feel like I've come home with a couple of really cool looking plates and maybe some blue things from a basket and a little piece of history. Travel Tuesday on the After Party Live. Well, we tried. I don't know if that was one of our better trips, but I feel like I've taken a little moment to go somewhere else today. Thank you for going along with me. All right. That is the After Party Live on a Travel Tuesday. And don't get fuzz on your fez, says Viewfinders. Good advice. Always good advice. Very exotic. Yes, we did. Is that where tangerines come from? I don't think so. Maybe. Nullividian says, I think they also named their candy Fez. Don't do it without your fez on, says Santi. No. All right. That is the After Party Live on a Travel Tuesday. Tomorrow, John Rothman will be on the Mark Thompson Show, as well as Belinda Weymouth. That'll be really good. And then we'll bid adieu to Mark as he takes a little vacation. And then we will have, who is it coming in? I think we have a guest host on Thursday and Friday, so I'll have a partner. But I've forgotten who will be in with me. I know Michael Schur will be in. We have a comedian coming in as well. So we're going to have some fun on the Mark Thompson Show this week. And then tomorrow we'll check out some waterfalls here on the After Party Live. You guys, thank you. It's been really fun. And I really appreciate all the messages and emails. And again, to share personal pictures on Thursday, we'll do a little segment. Please message me at kim@theafterparty.live. Again, it's kim@theafterparty.live is the email address. And maybe we'll do a little section where we can share some personal photos. I may only, depending on the volume of them, share 1 or 2 personal photos. So if you send me 10 and I only show 1 or 2, please forgive me. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I am trying to fit it all in. All right. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Thank you to everyone who contributes to the show. If I missed any contributions today, I will make sure and read your name tomorrow. So thank you very much for that. You'll find the PayPal information in the show description and in the About tab. Please click the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. Those are 2 free ways to help the show continue. All right, everybody, I will see you tomorrow, but until then, make it a great rest of your Tuesday.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Well, it's 2:10 and I figured you guys have things to do. I didn't want to rudely keep you so long. It's true. They are named for Tangiers. Look at you guys with your knowledge. I don't think for the first time we'll do a theme. I like the idea of a theme. For the first time, just whatever's on your mind that you would like people to see about you. Maybe a way to help people get to know each other a little bit. What do you want people to know about you? Maybe that would be the theme. I'm thinking it through, Heather. I don't know. It's a live work in progress. Bring on the good stuff, Heather. Whoop whoop. Wes, thank you for the contribution to the After Party Live on PayPal. Yay, Wes. Wes, I really appreciate it. On my Facebook page in Gualala.